What is surface area? Don't read to me what I wrote you down. Tell me what surface area is.
The area
around the outside, right? All the surfaces, the area added together, right? What about volume?
The area
inside the shape, whatever, right? Okay. Right angle trigonometry. Do you remember this?
Yes.
How do you usually think of it in your head? SOHCAHTOA, right? SOHCAHTOA, right? SOHCAHTOA, do you remember this? Okay. Special right triangles, do you remember these? If it's a 45, 45, 90 triangle, what's true about the legs? They're the same length. And if we call that x, what's the hypotenuse? X root 2. So x root 2. So if I tell you this leg is 5, what's the hypotenuse? 5 root 2. Does everybody understand that? Okay. 30, 60, 90 triangles. The smallest leg is x. The hypotenuse is 2x, and the other leg is x root 3. 1, 2, square root of 3. 1x, 2x, x root 3. Yes? Okay. Pythagorean triples. I'm going to take just a little bit of time to talk about Pythagorean triples because it seems like some people earlier had literally never heard of them before. Have you heard of Pythagorean triples before? These are the two that we're going to concentrate on today. These two Pythagorean triples. Okay? Now here's what I mean by a Pythagorean triple. Okay? How can I prove that these lengths are correct? Pythagorean theorem, right? This is A, this is B, this is C. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared, correct? So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. Well, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and 5 squared is 25. Is 9 plus 16 equal to 25? 9 plus 16? So does 25 equal 25? Yes. Okay. So here's the deal. If I tell you this side is 3 and this hypotenuse is 5, you don't have to do Pythagorean theorem because in our head we have a Pythagorean triple that is 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5 always works. It always makes this Pythagorean theorem true. So if I tell you this is 3 and this is 5, we just say that one's 4. If I tell you this one's 4, this leg is 4, and this hypotenuse is 5, you know this one's 3. And if I tell you the legs are 3 and 4, you know the hypotenuse is 5. There's no Pythagorean theorem necessary here because of what we know. Okay? Now here's what's cool about the Pythagorean triples. 3, 4, and 5 works. But if I tell you this is 6 and this is 8, can you tell me what this is? 10. Without even doing Pythagorean theorem, you knew what it was? Because those are all multiples, aren't they? 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 2 is 10. If I tell you this one's 9 and I tell you this one's 12, can you tell me what this one is? 15, because those are all multiples of the 3, 4, 5, all multiplied by 3. Does that make sense? Do you see how Pythagorean triples could be helpful for you? Like a kind of a shortcut from Pythagorean theorem? So the other, I guess, popular, if there's popular triangles of Pythagorean triples is 5, 12, 13. Same rules apply for 5, 12, 13 as applied for 3, 4, 5 triangles. Okay? Now, they have to be right triangles. You know that, right? They have to be right triangles. But 3, 4, 5 is a Pythagorean triple. 5, 12, and 13 is a Pythagorean triple. So tell me, please, what the length of this side is. 5. And we didn't do any Pythagorean theorem. Tell me the length of this side, please. Somebody else tell me the length of this leg.
12.
Wait, how do you know that?
You gotta multiply that by 3.
Oh, so you think this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle? And that times 3 is 9, and that times 3 is 15, so that times 3 should be 12. What about this one? Why do you think it's 26? Because it's a 5, 12, 13, and 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times 12 is 24, so this should be 26, because 2 times 13 is 26. What about this one right here? 8, because those are all multiples of 2. Okay, and then what about this last one? 60. It's a 5, 12, 13 triangle, which makes that side equal to 60. Does that make sense to you? You good with that? Okay. Customary measurements, metric measurements. These are not going to be given to you on the test. You have to know these. Okay? Now, I know this is a big list, but hopefully you know this one and this one. Maybe you don't know this one, but do you know something about a mile? Do you know it's 5,280 feet? No? Okay, I do. Sorry. But you can figure it out, hopefully. Maybe not. Maybe it's something we should know. Okay? Do you know ounces and pounds? Do you know there's 16 ounces in a pound and 2,000 pounds in a ton? It needs to be something you know. Okay? Capacity. This is where I've had the most trouble today. Have you guys not ever seen Gallon Man before? This is Gallon Man. Here's 1 gallon. How many quarts are there in a gallon? Right? Elbows and knees? How many pints are there in each quart? 2 pints in each quart. I can't do body parts anymore unless we talk about like maybe arm bones. Because don't we have 2 arm bones? Yeah. Definitely we can't talk about fingers because there's not 2 fingers on each arm bone. That would be weird. But you get the idea, yes? 2 cups in each pint, 2 pints in each quart, 4 quarts in each gallon. So can you tell me how many pints are in a gallon? Well, with Gallon Man, we could literally count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are all pints in a gallon. How many cups in a gallon? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yeah. Okay. Or you could just know this part, right? But I think Gallon Man is a little bit more interesting, right? Okay. Metric measurements. I know that we're in the United States, but we still have to know metric measurements. Do you know my favorite story about metric measurements? Do you know this story? The very first time we went to Mars, not we, I didn't go. But the first time the United States was sending, or actually it was a lot of people, NASA, sending a spaceship to Mars. So they spent millions of dollars and tons of years building the spaceship, researching everything they needed to research to get the spaceship there. And then it spent, 4 years flying to Mars. And as it was entering Mars's atmosphere, it blew up. Exploded. So we had to do an investigation. Why? Right? Well, it turns out that there were 2 teams that were responsible for the entry and the landing on Mars. And one was from the United States and one was from England. And the United States was using miles and England was using kilometers. Nobody ever had a conversation. England assumed they would be using kilometers because that's what they, and the rest of the world except for 3 countries use. And we assumed we were using miles because that's what us and Myanmar and Libya use. Okay? I think that's the right countries. I could look it up if you want me to be positive, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Years of research and millions of dollars exploded because we didn't have a conversation, or our scientists didn't think, oh, maybe we should use kilometers because that's what most of the rest of the world uses. Nobody talked. Okay? That's just my favorite story about metric and customary measurements. All right? And by favorite, I mean like really sad. We eventually did get to Mars. You know that, right? I mean, not me. I did not go. I'm still here. Okay. But these are things you have to know. How do you get from kilometers to, or meters to kilometers? How do you get there? 1,000, right? What does kilo mean? Yeah, look. How do you get from millimeters to meters? This one doesn't go directly from millimeters to meters, but it goes to centimeters first and then centimeters to meters. How many millimeters are there in a meter? 1,000. Okay. What about grams? How many grams are in a kilogram? 1,000. And how many milligrams are in 1 gram? 1,000. Oh, look at millimeters to liters. Sorry, milliliters. How many milliliters are in a liter? 1 liter. It doesn't say on here, but how many liters are going to be in a kiloliter? 1,000. Right? Okay. Any questions about this? Okay, I'm going to give you instructions I want you to do for your homework. But I want you to let me get all of the instructions out before you panic. Because I know some of you, and you have a tendency to panic. Give me a chance. Okay? Today in class we're going to do 6 IXL. 6 of them. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a piece of paper. One piece of paper. Wait, time out. You're going to take a piece of paper, and at the top of the piece of paper, you're going to write what IXL one you're doing. Maybe this one is U12. You're going to write U12. And then underneath it, write what it is. Is that one perimeter? I don't remember. You can know when you get there. But write the number, the letter and the number combination that we always have, and then write what it is. And then you're going to do problems on U12 until you get 5 right. 5. Okay? So I'm hoping all you have to do is 5. Does everybody understand? You're writing down enough of the problem that if I come to you and later and I say, what was that problem about? You're like, oh, that was surface area. Here was the shape. Here was the dimensions. Here was my answer. You see what I'm saying? If that means you need to copy down the whole problem, then copy down the whole problem. And then write your answer. Out to the side, I need you to notate whether you got it right or wrong. Because I need to be able to see that you got 5 right. I'm not talking about 5 right in a row. I'm talking about 5 total correct. Does everybody understand that? And then, when it's time to do the next section, you're going to get another piece of paper. I know we're using 6 pieces of paper today. You're going to have to just get over it. I do have Kleenexes back here if you're going to cry about using 6 pieces of paper. But I also have paper up there if you need to go get some. Okay? All of the things that we're doing today are all geometry related. If you actually look close enough, they are from the geometry section of IXL. They're not even in Algebra 2. We've already had this discussion, right? No Algebra 2 on the TSI. You know that, yes? Okay? So on each of the 6 sections, you're doing until you get 5 right. Let me make this clear. I am not looking at your SMART score tomorrow. I am not. Okay? I'm not looking at your SMART score tomorrow. I'm coming by and make sure you have 5 on each piece of paper that you have. 5 correct. Does everybody understand that? Any questions?